Good afternoon, YouTube. So this is an old 12 volt work light or trouble light that I used to use in my Toyota 4Runner. So I had picked this up. It's actually from grizzly.com. This originally didn't have a lighter plug on it. It actually came with a hardwired DC power supply rated 12 volt. At the time, I was thinking, oh, I could use this in my truck. I'll just put a 12 volt lighter plug on there. But the problem with this thing is I think the power supply that came with this was current regulated. You know, here I'm only running off of like a 12.3 volt or 12.2 volts under load there. But you can see how all the LEDs, there's some bright ones and there's a bunch of burned out ones. This thing just didn't hold up very well in the truck, especially like if you were running the engine and you had this plugged in, because then you'd have like 14 volts. And I think that's where a lot of the LEDs burned out. This used to be my 12 volt LED light in the back of the truck. I had this tie wrapped to the roll bar in back, and then I could slip it out of the tie wrap loops and then use it as a work light or trouble light and plug it into a lighter socket. But yeah, this was late 1990s technology. It wasn't very good. I mean, it was just the discrete LEDs. I think this is set up with 3 LEDs in series and then a bunch in parallel. I don't know what sort of current limiting resistors they have. I might see if I could tear this apart since it's basically dead now. This didn't prove to be very useful, and over the years you can see how most of the LEDs are burned out and it doesn't really provide much light anymore. When I took the old SoftTop off, I also took this out because I couldn't really use it anymore. So let me show you what I'm using instead. Okay, so instead of using this for lighting in the back of my 4Runner, so I did a little bit of shopping around, and I found on Super Bright LED they had these linear lights here that rotate, I believe. Yeah, there we go. You can see there's a mount here, and then they can rotate like 180 degree total, and they have an integrated switch there. And so I have them plugged in. Let me turn on my little battery here, 12 volt battery, and nice amount of light. And these are rated for 12 up to 24 volt operation, so it doesn't matter if the engine's running, engine's off. Uses about 6 watts, and I have 3 of these. So I'm going to put one in the back where my old trouble light used to be, and then I'm going to put one on each side of the SoftTop up near the front. So inside of the SoftTop, I think there's 5 tubes that run forward and backward. There's one on each side, there's one in the middle, and then there's one halfway out on each side. So I want to put these on the outermost tubes, and the tubes are 7/8 inch or roughly 22 millimeter diameter. This is a piece of steel tubing. They're aluminum on the SoftTop. So I've been trying to figure out how to attach these because they need to screw into something. And so I was thinking I could use something like a conduit clamp. The roofing material, the canvas, is over the top. I wanted something thin so it's not going to poke through the canvas and cause it to wear. So I'll have that mounted like that. And then the canvas is going to be back here, right? So I can't really get a screw in that way. So what I'm going to have to do is put a screw through a hole and then have a nut on the back side. Yeah, so there's the tube that runs from the back hoop up to the front there on the back of the cab. So I'll be mounting these clamps right in here. So I'll just come up off of here with a piece of wood across there, and then I just have to make sure I keep the nuts down because I don't want anything rubbing on the canvas and wearing a hole in it there. So like I said, the 2 lights, I'll have one on each side, and then I'll have one in back there on that hoop so that way I can light up in the back here if I just need to get in the back of the tailgate. And I used to have that trouble light attached up here on the roll bar, but that was kind of bad because it hung down and then you would always hit your head on it because you lost like that much clearance here. So I had a lighter socket there, and that was wired into the factory deck light here, and you could switch it on and off there, or you could switch it on and off from the dash. So I could plug that 12-volt work light in there, and then if it were turned on, you could turn it on and off from the dash. The clearance here is a little bit tight because the canvas kind of wraps around the tube there. So check all the clearance, but yeah, the SoftTop's working really well now. I got the gasket back in there so it's all sealed up and doesn't leak water anymore. So anyway, I'll keep you updated once I make a little more progress, but that was step one, is figuring out how to attach things to this tubing here. So stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.